Good evening and welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. I'm Marty Ford. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Hopefully you had a great weekend and you're trying to recover from all the slot car stuff that you were doing. So I'm just working on one of my cars, my sideways car, my M1. And just was doing some cleaning and haven't had this one open in a long time. And I thought I would just take a look at it and see what's going on. Got this to talk a little bit about. Our buddy Steve Holzman sent his race-winning cars. And we'll be, hopefully this week sometime, Steve and I will sit down and we will walk through those, each of those. I'm pretty excited about that. You know, we all want to know what makes a fast car go fast. And that car was really, really good on the track. And actually sent both that and his backup car. So we've got that not to do tonight, but coming up on the channel. Some things to talk about. And, you know, I am using my 3A 3D printer. Let's back up a little bit. Boom. Nope. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Yeah, so I'm using my 3A 3D printed setup block to work on this car. And we're going to give a few of those away tonight. So I'm excited about that. I don't know, maybe we can have Dave or George, one of the two, come in and see what's going on. I don't even have the comments up. What the heck? What is going on? So we got that. I'm prepping some cars. A lot of guys are sharing cars that they're prepping for the Eastern Nationals, the NSR Eastern Nationals. My brother sent a picture of his paint jobs on his cars, and Daniel sent some pictures of his car that he's working on. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't touched any of my cars. I've been working on the live stream stuff, and yeah, I need to. I'm getting behind. I need to work on some cars. But I guess I could show you like maybe one of the liveries that I've been working on. I don't know. Maybe for the races we pull out this livery, the Cole Trickle livery on the C8 Corvette. This has been a shelf queen. But maybe it doesn't need to be. Maybe it's number 92 of 200. Maybe it needs to be on the track. Maybe I need to run that. Well, what else? What else do I have? I have an unopened C7 Corvette. And it's a white kit, so I could paint a livery on that. But I haven't found time to do that yet either. I'm going to put this back in the plastic. Yeah. As much as I'd like to run this car, I just don't know that I will. Because the very first thing I would do is break off the wing and the mirrors, and you know how it is. But I've got some prepping to do. And then I got an update on the Polycar track. So I made changes already since I released the video last week. So we've got that to talk about. And we've got some controller talk. Maybe a little bit. Our buddy John Albright was able to pick up a +1 controller. And it's a controller that we've not seen a lot of here in the States. I think maybe Ian and Todd have one that somebody had sent them. And they were maybe working on a review of that. I don't think I've seen a review on it yet. And then John Albright's got one. And John and I have been talking a lot about back and forth since he got it. And he's really liking that controller. It's got a lot of cool features. And then, I've been using the MK15. Really happy with that. So, yeah, maybe we talk a little controllers tonight. I told John Albright today that I'd like to build my own controller. And I think he maybe told me I was crazy. I don't know. So let's see who's in the chat. Chris, welcome. Scott, good evening. Chris, roast coffee. That's right. Chris, spent too much money today on things that weren't slot cars. Well, that happens. Life sometimes gets in the way. Nathaniel, so fast. Chris, Rocky, hope all are well. Hey, Nathaniel, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. Jerry, I'm so sorry I missed you last Thursday, but the guy said you had a great time. You did a great job. I hope you enjoyed Cincy Slots and all the fellows there. Hey, Eric, good evening. Hey, Ron, hope you're doing well. Ernest is in the house. Hey, Ernest. Hey, Brett, shout out to Brett. Brett, thanks for the message. I haven't had a chance. I've been kind of swamped at work. It's a busy week. It's the Circleville Pumpkin Show week. Monday, we had an all-employee training that kept me pretty busy for the last couple weeks prepping for, and that went off without a hitch. Great job. All of those involved. But this is Circleville Pumpkin Show. And it looks like there's a mark of the, if you guys remember right, last year, Kingston National Bank, who I work for, my employer, we sponsor the Great Pumpkin Way Off, which is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So I will be doing some live streaming and stuff for work tomorrow, covering that, which will be fun. But it looks like California had their way off today. And a guy posted a 2,394 pounds. So I don't know. Our growing season has not been great for pumpkins. A lot of growers had difficulty growing pumpkins this year. And so I think the total number of pumpkins are going to be down a little bit. Hey, Alan. Hope you're doing well, man. B-Rads is in the house. Keith is in the house. What's up? Mr. Albright, early check-in. KR. So that's a big pumpkin. I don't know if we'll have a pumpkin that big. I think we were 2,382, I think. So that got us by a few pounds, I think was our record. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. But great big festival in Circleville. It's the largest free show on earth. That's their claim. But it's a big marketing opportunity for me at my office. So that's what we're trying to do. Let's see. Hey, Hank. Good to have you. We seem to have a joyful crowd. Hopefully, we always have a joyful crowd. Last week, I was in rare form. I was pretty excited. So maybe I'll be a little more calm. Great time racing at Cincy Slots last Thursday. First time, at least this century, running a no mag race. I like it. Jerry, I'm glad you like it. Hey, Filthy Little Slots. B-Rads. HSF. Good evening, HSF. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to have you. John Tucci. Good evening. Hey, Mike. Good evening. The Wings of War. I like it. Nothing like septic issues to interfere with my slot cars. Yeah, that's no good. Daryl Rogers. Yep. Kurt. Good evening, Kurt. Hey, Marty. What's up? Jim Rose is in the house. Jim, how was the race this past weekend? Looked like when I checked in, you guys were doing pretty well. So good to see it. Hello, Timothy. Gary. Gary is enjoying his RX-7, hopefully. Good evening, Rob. Working on tires. Imagine that. Hey, Ryan. Going to my mom's house for liver and onions. Ooh. Can't do that, Ryan. Enjoy, but I can't do liver and onions. James Tharp. Brew crew screwed up last night, Marty. Yeah, they did. Yes, they did. Hey, George. George sent me a video, posted a video playing with his new decal printer. And that'll be stuff coming out from the 3D printing guys. Is some custom decals. And he printed a decal sheet that had my logo on it. Looks pretty good. So, George, thanks for doing that. That was fun. Cool to see. And so you have to check out George's channel. I'm sure he'll post a video about some of this. But he'd posted on Facebook and Home Racing World. The video was pretty cool. Yeah. Congrats on the win, Jim. Looked like you guys put on quite a show. Daryl is in there again. Oscar. Good evening, Oscar. Slot Invasion USA.com. Get your hop-up parts for Carrera cars. My brother and I were looking at these that Oscar sent, and I got to grab my NASCAR and work on my video this week if I can find some time. Shotgun Dave, multitasking tonight. Dodgers, dinner, and 2 lines. Nice. Nice. Hey, Zachary. Good to have you. Yeah, we got a lot of people in the chat. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. So where do we want to start? So yeah, I think in car prep for the Nationals, I'll start there. I was running some, hey, Ron, eating Cheetos, so only listening from here on. Hey, Doug. Hey, Bryce. Good to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Craig. Hey, DG. Yeah, I didn't finish this. Sorry, guys. I've said it many times, Marty. No green cars. No green cars. All right. Got it, Kurt. No green cars. Hey, Kirby. Michelle. Hope you're all well. Doing well. Big Oak. Hey, Mike. What's up, slot car nerds? Bill Bowtie. Bill builds some great cars. Bill, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. You should send those to Kentucky if you ain't going to do anything with them. Greg, you know what to do with the 51 car. Hit the pace car. I want you to go out there and hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. As you noticed in my video, Days of Thunder was on last week while I was working on the track. Hey, Bruce. Man, we got a bunch of people in. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Let's go back to, I'm sure I missed something. If it makes coffee, I will buy it. Hey, Harry. So, distractions over. Hit the pace car. So I have the cars I prepped last year. I've got the orange C8 Corvette. And I was thinking about painting it and putting an actual livery on it. But I'm afraid that if I shoot paint on it, then that body becomes too heavy. And as you guys know, the white kits are pretty much sold out everywhere. And bodies. So I don't know if I can get anything in time, but I keep watching. And I've got some ideas for a livery. If I do paint a car, and the C8 is the one I want to do. I pulled Rexy out from last year and ran some laps. I haven't run laps with Rexy in a long time. And that car sort of seems to have come alive a little bit on the Polycar track. So I might have to pull it out of retirement and maybe at least take it, potentially run it. And then the Spirit of America team had sent me an NSR 908. And I've been running that. And so that livery is not a livery that I did, but it's a livery I'm pretty proud of. And so I'm thinking about maybe taking that car and getting it to spec for the race and have it as an option. And then I have just a stock Martini, the silver number 8, 908. So I think I've got enough cars. I don't need to buy another car. It'd be nice to maybe find a couple bodies so I can paint them up. But I think that I'm just going to roll with what I have. Maybe I tune up the 51 Days of Thunder livery. But that was a gift. I kind of hate to tear it up. But dang, it looks good on the track. I mean, they kind of killed it with that. But outside of that, I really don't have any cars outside of maybe I just have a bunch of painting to do. So I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Steve. What's up, guys? Hey, Patrick. You're coming since he slots last week and drove the tires off some cars. Yep. I love the fact that he jumped in there and ran no magnets. Not ever having done that. Jumped in and did fine. Hey, Muffman 79. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, hey, Gary. I really think that I've got the cars. I'm just going to roll with them. I'm going to try to clean them up and make sure that they're prepped and ready the best I can. But my focus on the event, to be honest with you, is really going to be putting out a quality live stream. The dogs have entered the chat. Yeah, I really want the live stream to go well. And so that's kind of been my focus. Last week, I told you about the conversation I'd had with Steve, and Steve's going to co-host with me, which is great. I'm excited about having some help. I've had a handful of other people reach out and say that they're willing to help so that I can race. I just know that it's going to be a distraction. The nice thing about the team event is I didn't have to cover anything but just my part. And so that's going to be a little different. Half Moon Bay Pumpkin Festival record, 27:49. Yeah, John, they posted on the news tonight, though, the Half Moon Bay Pumpkin Festival, the winning pumpkin this year was 2392, I think. So a little smaller. The guy who usually is the winner, his pumpkin came apart last month and split, and there was no saving it. So he didn't have a pumpkin. And we've got some growers that are having problems with their pumpkins this year too. We had super dry summer. It was really wet early and then super dry. And those big pumpkins are very finicky. So, yeah, Chris, that is still a pretty good sized pumpkin. Sure is. Clear coat and pumpkin tonight. I don't have the Mustang, the sideways Mustang GT3, I think that car looks really good. I'll be honest, I don't love the livery, but the car looks really, really good. If that makes sense. Like sideways kind of nailed the body and the stance, and it really looks like it looks good on the track. And I've messed around with a couple of sideways GT cars, and they are really, really good. They probably perform a little better than the Group 5 cars, and all the Group 5 cars are fun. I really like them. It's a class I didn't think I would like of cars, but I do. But Curvy, I do not have one yet. I saw the video that Dave Kennedy posted, and somebody else put out something. I'm trying to remember who it was that I watched. I apologize. And it looks like a great car. Hey, Thomas. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Appreciate it. Hey, Jay. Good evening. Glad you're here. Victory for our team. That's right. Well done. Yeah, car looked fast. Looked like you guys were had it under control. KR Bridges has a question. I just got my 3A 3D truck. Any thoughts where we will be running them? KR, that's a good question. I imagine somebody will do some sort of proxy race for them. Everybody seems to be pretty excited about them. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. It's been a long week. It's only Tuesday. Does that decal printer make coffee? That's a good question. Jim Rose, do you all stream your races? That race was at Motown, and Motown does stream. They have their own channel, but sometimes Jim, because of his subscriber base, he streams them sometimes. But I believe it was on the Motown YouTube channel. You can go out there and watch some of it. Work night for the 68-year-old mechanic. Hang in there, man. Alan put on one in a car, and it looked great. Let's see. It does. Jealous. Nice. John D. would be interested to hear how the decal printer prints white. So, John, how that eye color that George has, you can do underprinting on decals. So the program that has will automatically lay down white wherever white needs to be on the decal sheet, and then print the colors on top of that. And so it does print the colors in a particular order, white being first. And if you need to reverse that, then you, like for a transfer where you would actually like print color in reverse order on the transfer, you have to move the cartridge, I believe. George can answer that question, but yeah, it's called underprinting, and it prints a white base layer so that you get true colors and the colors pop. And so that when you cut it out, the decal paper, the white, the clear is transparent, and the white helps those colors become opaque, so they all have a white background. It's brilliant, and it's very, very good, but it's not a cheap printer. Just put it out that way. If the only reason you bought it is to do decals at home, it might take a while to get your money back. NorCal slot car scene for the win. Yeah. Yep, it's good to see. And see, if I had an episode of the race report, I could have reported on that. So Jim wouldn't have to, answer the question. You guys would have already watched the race report where I would have announced, hey, here was the podium for that race. I don't know. The more I think about that, it's going to be a lot of work, but I think it would be fun. What else we got? Running laps and tuning cars for the Eastern Nationals. Craig, that's great. Marty says, may need a little help Thursday night if if Holzman doesn't show with his cars. He's trying to rehabilitate. John D, lots of World Championship F1 car winners and race winners were green. Kurt doesn't like those green cars. Hey, DW, running late. No worries, man. You haven't missed much. Just me mumbling. Steve will be there because he needs the points for the TD team. Yes, the 908 is an awesome, that NSR 908 is an awesome livery. Rob, Marty, bring the whole stable. So I have thought about it. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember my late model car I did in a 2 lines livery. I felt like that was a little self-promoting. But I probably will put a 2 lines logo on it someplace. But quite a few Le Mans winners were green too, even this century with the Bentley. Trying to catch up with the cars I've bought, still behind, but making progress. Yeah, Bill, no building going on right now, just trying to tune up what you got. I get it. No one needs to donate a car to me. I appreciate that, Timothy, but I've got plenty of cars to run for the NSR Nationals. I don't need a new car. Greg will bring his herd of cars. Yes, Greg has a ton of cars prepped for the Nationals. He probably already has a bunch prepped and ready to roll right now. Okay, M in the house. That's a whole lot of pie. OKM, where the M stands for men. Nice. Squash or pumpkin? I'm not a big fan of squash or pumpkin. I'm being honest. I like strawberry pie, I like apple pie. Outside of that, not a whole lot of other stuff. How about your pink Lola test car for the race? Chris, yes. I did not mention the Lola. The Lola will be coming. It runs pretty good. It's not, I need to go in and clean them all and make sure they're lubed up and do the kind of like that final 10% on the tunes. I've been running a bunch of laps with them on the Pala car, mostly NSR cars over there, just to get a feel for the tight turns with an NSR car and how I want to set them up. Do I want to set them up as I normally do, or do I want to do what we've nicknamed here on the channel, the Andrea tune, based on the video that when Daniel was talking to Andrea and I videotaped it, and we released it. That tune on Plastic Track seems to be really, really good. Really, NSR cars seem to be the only cars that you can get away with that with. But, excuse me, I like that Pennzoil car you got. Yeah, the Skyline. Yeah, the Skyline that's a great livery. And that runs in the Group 5. So it will get the same treatment that the M1's getting. I'm trying to figure out how to get down. John Mark, if he's in the chat, comes home Thursday. I got to pick he and his wife up at the airport. And I'm trying to decide if I can get to Cincy and run the Group 5 race and then head to the airport and pick them up. The only issue is I have to take off work to get down there in time because they've been trying to start around 6:15 running 2 analog races. And that would be impossible without me taking at least a half day off on Thursday. So we'll see. Greetings from Florence, South Carolina. Hey, Ted. Thanks. Got my Mustang today. Looks great. Has a 17.5 motor. We'll install chip tomorrow. Nice. I think that that 17.5 motor is probably going to be really good. It's got a lot of torque, but the lower RPM will probably make that car a dream to drive. I'm guessing. I think that's a good choice. Thomas, Marty, do you airbrush or rattle can your paint jobs? What brands of paint do you prefer? Just curious. Thanks. Thomas, I have not gotten into airbrushing. It's one of those, the hobby has so many little rabbit trails, and all the rabbit trails cost a little bit of money. And with the YouTube channel, my dedicated slot car money runs pretty thin, because it seems I go from like one thing to the next that it required. For the live stream, I ended up buying some cameras. And so a lot of my slot car money went to buy cameras to improve the live stream, and which is a great thing. I'd actually like to pick up one or two more of the same cameras, but that's kind of stole some money from maybe cars or some equipment. And then I bought the MK15 controller, and so I had some expenditures there in like August that really, in September, that really took some of my spending money. So I have airbrush is one, 3D printing is one that I would like to get into. I just don't. Yeah, I've got to be choosy. So paint wise, I don't have a choice. I'm using rattle can right now. I've been using testers because I can get it locally at Hobby Lobby. I really try to support my local stores as much as I possibly can. I would like to get some Tamiya, however you pronounce it, paints to try. Those are rattle can as well. And then once I get an airbrush, a lot of the guys have went with gravity paints, Thomas, and they really, really like those. I think Steve and Daniel and Greg and some others in the chat are working with those gravity paints. And I think they're from overseas, but they have a lot of colors that are specific to like car liveries. So like the proper golf livery color you can get direct from Gravity. That's ready to spray. So you can get the colors right. So there's a little bit about paint. But yeah, I'm still a rattle can guy. Wishes 3D made step-side trucks to go with my new Dodge. Marty, the livery has a lot going on it. It makes sense. Lamborghini and a Ford GT are good also. The Sidewinder. Harry, yeah, I agree. The one I've played with is the Ford GT. Daryl sent one home with me for a couple weeks, and that car was a blast to drive. I really, really enjoyed it. Michael says, I'm fired up about the Eastern NSRs. Michael, I'm glad you are, man. I'm glad to hear that. It's going to be a fun race. For those of you who are planning to go to the Eastern Nationals, the other night, Greg and I sat down and we did a walkthrough video of the rules, and I'll be releasing that probably Saturday morning. And it will be a place where you can ask questions in the chat or on the comments, and we'll be watching that to try to help clarify some things. Now, there were some people that weren't happy that we were going to do that video. I got some feedback that said that they thought people need to learn how to read and read the rules and interpret them themselves. And I get that. Maybe so, but this is an event that we want to see grow. And there's probably a lot of guys out there that are on the fence about going. And I just felt like taking that attitude was was wasn't in the spirit of the event. If I was a person, the only reason I went last year was I had a bunch of guys, friends that were going, and I knew if I ran into some trouble, I had people there to support me that would help me. If my car was awful, there was Steve and Greg and a handful of other guys that would have said, Josh, and would have looked at my car and said, hey, here's what's going on. Not everybody has that, right? Not everybody has that community yet at the track. And so you walk into a nationals race and maybe you haven't done much club racing. Maybe you haven't done anything at all, but it just happens to be close to you. So you think you go. It can be intimidating, and we want to remove that as an obstacle. So for those of you who sent me a message after I mentioned it last week and said, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that, I feel like it's the right thing to do. And Oliver and Mike, I think they thought it was the right thing to do too. So hopefully it answers some questions, clarifies, gives some tips. Greg gave some great tips on what to be prepared for. And that might be the most important part of it. This is how tech works. And this is what you need to be prepared to do. You need to be prepared to take the body off your car and have everything ready to roll. And because as soon as you're done and you put the car back together, the car is impounded and you don't touch it again until you are on the track. Right. So that video is going to come out. I got to finish editing it. It was quite long. I'm trying to condense it as much as I possibly can, but it's still probably going to be about an hour. I'm trying to get it to an hour, but that's what we're working on. So that's a video that's coming out this week. Steve's cars. It was one of the things I want to talk about. So I'll go ahead and open her up. Steve sent the race winning cars for the Scale Auto event. And these are the Scale Auto LMP cars. And this was the race winner and the backup car. And now that I think about it, I can't remember which one was the main car. But great liveries that Steve did an awesome job with the paint. Both of these cars were fantastic, ran really well. But we're going to do a breakdown of these cars, and I'm excited about that. I think that, it will help. Oh, this is the one they ran because it's missing a mirror. But I think that's going to be a great video, and that's a video to help people, right? So that's what we want. We want this event to be a learning experience for new people, get them interested in going to a race like that, because we think that there's going to be more events down the road on this side of the coast coming up in the future that we would like to see people come to. So that's kind of where we're at. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. No questions. Carlos, are you doing the GRL this year? Hey, Carlos. Cyberg, what's up? Evening. Good to have you. Hey, Mark. Mark, are you and your son, I think I already asked you this question, are planning to come to the Nationals? So this would be a good video that you might enjoy. It's just a nice walkthrough. Hey, Bruce, 3A3D trucks. George, are there plans for races? That's a good question. Sorry, I've been busy putting a stand for the printer. I do not know yet, but that should not stop you from doing your own race. I've thought about doing a proxy race with one of the 3A3D cars. So I guess I could think about doing that. And I think it'd be fun to do something over the holidays, like Christmas. Do the the best Christmas pageant ever proxy race, or White Christmas proxy race, or Scrooged proxy race. Maybe that's more like it. That would be pretty soon. That would be a short timeline for people to prep a car, especially if it were the trucks. But I was thinking that maybe this first time, what I would do is not do the trucks, but maybe do cars that guys have already built. So like the late models would be a great proxy, because a lot of guys already have the late models done. So let me know what you think. I'll get it cleared with George and Dave, and maybe we'll try to do something like that. I think it would be fun. Maybe we could do submit any of your 3A 3D printed cars, except for the John Albright Chaparral 2J, because that car was screaming. Guaranteed winner. Roasted butternut squash goes pretty good with a well-charred rare steak. There you go. And Gary, time for 4 lines decals. Well, so 2 lines it's not indicative of the amount of lanes in a track. My daughter's names are Madeline and Caroline. Both of their first names end in Line. So I have 2 lines. That's where the name comes from. So, but I get it. Marty has 3 tracks with 4 lanes each, so he needs to be 12 lanes now. 12 lines now. To be fair, Daryl is right. I do have somehow 3 stinking tracks down here that I don't have room for any of them, really. Get a cab to pick them up, bring them to Cincy slots. Don't forget John's cars. There you go. Alan, I was hoping they would fly into Cincy, but they're flying into Columbus. But you're right. We'll try to get him down the following week when he gets back. Marty, how is the new track? Are you liking the polycar track? Brett, great question. And I need to reply to your message. I will do that. I'll try to do that maybe tonight afterwards. Do you guys want to see it? So you saw the video. You saw what the track looked like if you watched the video from Saturday, the build video. And Dusty came over, and I didn't do a great job of getting footage while Dusty was running 2 cars, but running 2 cars on the track was a lot of fun. Like, it's a competitive track, and it's a small track. I need to measure and figure out how long it is. I'm guessing that the lane length is probably about 40 feet, 45 feet. It's pretty short, and because of that, it's hard to pull away from somebody, and it's hard to catch up with somebody. And Dusty's cars were just a touch faster than all of mine, I think. And then I jumped in the inner lane, and the inner lane was so much faster. And while we were running, it was really the first time I'd looked at the track and realized, I was like, the inside lane is the inside lane all the way around. The inside lane was fast if you could navigate the R1s, but it was so much shorter getting around the track than the outside lane. And then I started looking at him and was like, that's because every turn is a right-hand turn. And so Dusty left, and I sent a message out to Greg Kessler, and I said, Greg, actually, I think it was to the group. I have all right-hand turns. Should I make changes? And when I decided to make changes, and I kind of described what I was going to do, it took out the S turns. And you guys know I like the S, I like a little S turn section. So we're probably not at the final layout, but we're probably pretty close. And I'm going to, I'll bring it up. So here's what it looks like now. And It's good. I like it. It's still has some point and shoot to it. It's got the little squiggle, the cotter pin, coming out of that, coming down off of the bridge. But that creates a pretty good blind spot for this far end driver station. So when you run that inner lane, it gets kind of tough because you're on the outside and then you're on the inside, and you lose it until it actually gets to the corner. If you're tracking with me, but I'd like it. It's fun. I'll probably go run some laps towards the end of the live stream, just so you guys can get a feel for it. But my initial thoughts, I kind of put this in the video. If you haven't watched the video, my initial thoughts for the Polycar: it's tight. The R1 is, and it's a right-hand turn, man. It's tight. And I think it's going to help me when it comes time, to run at the Nationals, because I know that there's going to be one of those turns, right? And the new change to it, I'll give you another sneak peek. The new change adds that kink, and that kink is a quick left-hand turn that is an R1 and R2. So that kink on the outside, if you're coming towards you on the outside lane, that kink is tough, but it will be good practice. Do I like the Polycar track? Yes. Do I love it? I'm liking it a whole lot, to the point where I'm thinking, I don't know if there's enough track in the United States, parts, and I don't really want to spend the money on it. But as much as I like the Carrera track, I'm thinking maybe I build a 6-lane Polycar in this space. Do I need 6 lanes? No, probably not. 4 lanes is probably fine. But I think it would be cool to host a race here that's a 6-lane Polycar track. And then what would I do with my Carrera layout? Because we still need a Carrera layout because we're prepping for races at Bruce's at Cincy Slots. So that's the problem you run into, is like, and then when we build cars for the oval is still required, right? So I'm kind of torn. I'm out of room. I mean, you guys, that room, let me take you back. It looks like there's plenty of room. And then you look over here and you realize that the oval is right on top of it. And there is no room to barely breathe. So that's what you run into. But do I like the Polycar track? Yes, I love the Polycar track. I really, really like the Polycar track. I don't run a ton of 124 scale, so having a tighter lane spacing isn't really that big of a deal. But we would miss the Carrera track. I would miss this layout. This layout's fun layout. But if I had a similar layout in Polycar, it would be great. And I could almost put a 6-lane in the same space as this 4-lane because of the lane spacing on Polycar. So I do like it. The grip level is great. I know people say that silicones aren't great on Polycar track. I have had no problems with silicone tires on that Polycar track. My super tires hook up great. I've got a couple cars, my NSR cars, that have quick slicks on them. They're really hooking up pretty good. I haven't tried the zero graining tires on it yet. That will be the true test, right? So hopefully soon. So Marty, Brett, that was a really long answer to your question. Ted says the Mustang has sticky tires, should work great on the Carrera track. Yeah, I think the sideways rubber is actually pretty good tires. Daniel says Daryl 100%. There you go. I like that 12-line slot cars. Ted, waiting to get my Mustang and get my track back up. So looking forward to it. Curvy, your track is put up. Ooh. Dang. Gravity is from Spain, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's where that came from. Jim says the green race car superstition started at Indy because of multiple early 1900s fatal accidents. Most famous was the 1920 death of Gaston Chevrolet. And that was a green car. There were lots of green cars. Green was a very popular color because some of the other colors were pretty expensive to make, right? Green was an inexpensive paint, I'm guessing. The pink Lola T290, like the WRU Lola 280, you will be surprised. Also, NSR has the T80 290 rear ends to lighten up the back of the Lola for $11. Yeah, Chris, I've thought about that, and that was actually a car I just thought of. That I actually have somewhere. I've lost it. Oh, no, there it is. No, that's the Mazda. Well, somewhere around here, I have a Lola. It's a WRE car. And I guess I could tune that up. So I actually have plenty of cars. If two of them, if I want to pull them out of a box or if I want to run a C7. But I'm sure I would choose my C8 that I already have over the C7. Not that the C7 isn't a great car. It's just the C8 is that much better. You can't go wrong with Creatix or SMS either for airbrushing. Toss House of Color in there as well. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. Airbrushing is something I've got to get into. But again, I need to create like a paint booth in here. I need airbrush. I need to bring in an air compressor. It piles on. I'm not quite ready to go there. I can buy a lot of rattle cans for that investment. I will learn a lot. I do not know how to read rules, so we'll watch the rules video. Michael, Greg does an awesome job of just walking through those. I will try to get that. Maybe I'll try to get that edited tonight and get that out before Saturday. Today's Tuesday. Maybe I can try to have that video out on Thursday. I think it's important. Ben, welcome. Good to have you, Ben. Ben, we still need to have you guys on. Ron sent me a message. Thanks, Ron, if you're watching, for the banana. When during the live stream, he was worried about me not eating, and he brought me grapes and he brought me a banana because he knew that I was watching. I was being healthy, and I appreciated that. That meant a lot. Ron is a great guy, but Ben, hope you're doing well. Hopefully we get a chance to race at the cave soon. And you guys start last week at the cave? It's coming up, I think, right? Thomas, question. George, do your 3D printed cars have the space and are pre-drilled for Carrera? No, they're not pre-drilled for Carrera. Here is the bottom of my Volkswagen. Plenty of room in the Volkswagen for a chip, but not the Carrera chip. Thomas, I would look at the FT Slot Technic chips or the MLP chips because they're smaller and the LED is on a wire. It's not attached to the circuit board. So you can actually mount the chip one place and run the LED to another. That's what I would recommend. on the quick. Racing tomorrow, Ben. Ah, very good. Here's the answer. Ben smiles. That must be a yes. Thomas, no, but you can make a hole for it. Yeah, it's easy enough. Vince, I have a sideways car that I put a digital chip in. I found out you need to change the guide to a thicker guide. The guide they have does not close the lane switch on Carrera Track. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I have a Scale Auto, or is that a Slotting Plus? I forget. I think that's a Slotting Plus guide on mine, and then I also have on my others, I have a Slot Invasion, so I don't have a problem with it not closing the. But Vince, thanks. That's good information for people to know. Appreciate that. Gary, what's up, Gary? Mr. Painter 1. Yes, that's the plan to be there this year. Great, Mark. Yeah, I thought you had mentioned that, but good to know that your son will be coming as well. Not sure yet, Daniel. Okay. Carlos says, I'm planning on racing on the GRL. I even got a NASCAR car. Yeah, I need to pull my NASCAR out because I need to install the new front guide. John Cook, going to have to repaint in Christmas colors. Thomas, yes. Use the Slot Technic chip. Yep. George beat me to it, I think. Anyone ever try your own guides on a 3D machine? Timothy, that's a good question. There's a lot of guide files out there on Thingiverse, I think. But I'm curious if anybody has tried a 3D printed guide. I'm sure you could do that. But man, the Slot Invasion guides are so good. I'm kind of spoiled with them, to be honest. Don't know that I'd want to race 2J unless I built another. The track hooligans might destroy it. Never. John, what? Dusty would be driving it. John Mark would be, wait. Yeah, you might not want to send the 2J. You might want to build another one, a spare. No jet engines, all right. That's right. Yep. The FT Slot Technic. Yep, you can get them from Oscar. That's really touching on how the name came about. Thanks. I'm glad you like it. Yeah. It started, Caroline and I, my youngest, we were sitting around the table and she's like, Dad, what does it take to start your own business? And I was like, well, you have to have an idea and you have to have some capital. You got to have some money. And you take those two things and come up with a plan. And that's how you start a business. And so we started this little side hustle and I was making skateboards. The kids got into longboarding. And so I started making longboards out of the shed, and it was Two Lines Board Company. And for about 5 years, we made probably close to 250 longboards out of the shed. And then during the pandemic, that kind of died out and I lost my supplier for trucks and wheels, and we started the slot cars and we haven't looked back. So there you go. One thing I would like, I would like to see is more 3D bodies come with windows. Simulated aero downforce. Bruce, I would help you with a race. Cool, Bruce. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Daniel has thrown his hat in the ring there too. Patrick says, does anyone know of a 69 Lotus Europa slot car, 1/32 scale? Patrick, I do not know. I'm not actually familiar. I don't know that I'm familiar with the Europa. I'd have to look it up. track looks a lot better use of space and track you have. So Bryce thinks it needed some left-hand turns. Let's just be honest. I think that in the long run, this is going to be better than the one before, even though the one before was a lot of fun. Just saying, it was a lot of fun. But I think that this layout probably, it wastes a little space. It's actually a little smaller, but I think it flows a little better, but it still hits all of the highlights from a technical track. And the purpose of the track is to train on, right? To get better at driving. So yeah, thanks. Marty, the late models would be a great, since the trucks are still waiting to ship. Yeah, Bruce, I think you're right. I think that the late model is probably the way to go if I was going to do a Christmas proxy, but I would want to talk to George and Dave about it, because I don't know what they have planned, and I would not want to like steal any of their thunder. These are their cars that they've created, and but I think it would be fun. And like maybe it runs pretty good on the Polycar. Maybe the Polycar track becomes part of the proxy, but we'll see. Courtney, I'm interested in the same car setup will work on both tracks. If the same car setup will work on both tracks, both the Carrera and the Polycar, or the oval and the Polycar. Thanks, Chris. It's funny, Dusty walked out the door and it wasn't 10 minutes later I was already tearing it up. John, rare steak goes with everything. There you go. All the 3D printed guides I've seen break easily. Yeah, but I think there's some new plastics now that hold up, like what the guys are using to print these chassis. Polycar versus Scale Auto. John, Polycar versus Scale Auto, that's a good question. I am actually working on a video. I've got so much content that I'm in the middle of working on. I'm going to do a comparison video, but it probably won't come out until after the Eastern Nationals, because I want to get some footage on that track specific for the video, a comparison video. So we'll see. But my thoughts on them, like right now, I would say that they're very similar. I think the Polycar has a little more grip, but it's a tighter track. The Scale Auto is a little larger because it's the same lane length as Carrera, or the lane width as Carrera, but smaller borders and more turn selection. The Scale Auto, you could build a 12-lane track, which is insane, but you could do it. It has enough turns. Now, Polycar is rumored to be working on, they've got R1s, R2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. And I think maybe they're working on an R6. I don't know. I thought I heard Maurizio say that once. But I think they're different, but from a grip level, they're very similar. I think the Polycar has a little more grip than the Scale Auto, but not much. I do think that silicones work better on the Polycar track than they do on the Scale Auto track. Like, Polycar has teeth, and Scale Auto's grip is more like sandpaper. Is that a fair assessment? Hopefully that helps. Bigger houses needed, or just another, I moved to the attic or the garage. Daryl, if we were racing fly trucks, I would bump that bridge up a little bit, but I don't have any fly trucks. The only thing that I know that I have that won't fit underneath there is my VW bus, but it's a digital car. So welcome aboard. That's right. Polycar versus Scale Auto. I think I just answered that. That's plenty of space, Marty. Yeah, just squeeze in between the track. That's what I'm doing now. Polycar. Oops, sorry, John. Polycar is designed for rubber. Sorry, silicone racers. It is designed for rubber. Yeah, I mean, we've heard Maurizio say that, like that he developed that track to work with rubber tires. They wanted a plastic track that rubber tires work great on. That's why it's got so much grip. We know that silicone is really, really good on Carrera on a clean track, right? But it works. The silicones work pretty good on the Polycar track. They do. I'm knocking out a wall to get more track down. There you go, John. Let's see what else. Green pigments are definitely a lot cheaper than red pigments in paint. Yeah, Gary, I thought that's why, a lot of early cars were painted green or black because those pigments were cheaper. Red paint goes from the barn to the racetrack. There you go. Well, like barns were painted red because they would use clay as the pigment, right, in the paint. And most of the time it was milk paint, I think. And the only reason I know any of this about paint is it's because I read a book called Sacre Bleu, and they talked about that's why there's not a lot of blue in early painting, like from artists, like Da Vinci's time. That the blue pigments were so expensive that they used blue very sparingly. The book Sacre Bleu is fantastic, by the way. It's a kind of a dark comedy by Christopher Moore, if anybody is interested. What else? At least it'll match the red tires. There you go. Yeah, Courtney, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. Do you run 124 cars? If so, the line spacing on the Scale Auto will be better suited. Yes. Yep. The Polycar track is tighter. The cave started last week. Nice, Daniel. Digital 3A 3D car. Blasphemy. Nice. Hey, Patrick. Patrick and I were trying to have a conversation this weekend, and we were both so busy we never made it happen. We'll make it happen this week. We'll try. I do have a pretty busy week ahead of me, but he looks forward to it all year. Awesome. Mark, that's great. I can't wait. He's probably grown a foot since last year too. I have absolutely printed my own guides. Nice. Patrick, I still laugh every time my computer says practice just breaks stuff before the race. Daniel's got full commentary on. I do run to 124. Funky old Flexi in the lap is the lap record. There you go. Yeah, John. The Polycar is probably, if you're on the track by yourself, you'd be okay. But if you were running against other stuff, the 124, they're pretty on top of each other. I have a digital layout and don't have the resources currently for a digital to analog device. Thomas Sanders. Hey, Ron, hoping to make it to the cave tomorrow. You got me hooked on that Revo. I run BRM 124, so I would go Scale Auto for that reason. Currently running Carrera. There you go. Daniel's headed there, Ron. Good to see you guys. Glad you guys are racing. Purely BSing. Run your cars your way. That's right. Yeah. Doing well, Daniel. Hope you are well as well. Yeah, I like the software to be a bit witty. Yeah, I appreciate the wit. The GRL is $50 Canadian. What a scam. Never mind. I'm in. If you do a Christmas proxy, do we get a rendition of the 12 Days of Slotmas? That's funny. I'm sure it will make its round again come time. Race report from Thursday at Cincy Slots. Josh Reed wins it all. Toyota Sideways Group 5, and in Group C, Josh wins with a new Mazda 767B. Prepared by TD Slot Sports. Tate was second with a Lancia. Congrats. Nice. Yeah. Way to go, Tate. Yeah, way to go, Josh, too. But Josh has won before. Tate's getting faster all the time. And he's the young guy at Cincy Slots. So it's great to see him doing well. Does anyone run Carrera Trucksters? Gary, I don't have one of the Trucksters. They're cool looking though. I was summoned. Funny, Josh. Hey, look, it's Mr. Non-Zero Grip. Ouch. Agreed. I don't think I'd want to run a resin 3D printed guide, filament only. Yeah, George, I'm sure that there's a filament out there that could hold up as a guide. I need a bigger house to run more than 2 lanes. Yep, that's a great car. My understanding is Polycar won't make an R6, but have the 3D files to print your own. Thanks, Jim, for the clarification. That is correct. That they were going to release the files so people could print their own. Except for the fact that that's not going to have the same grip as their stuff. I think they want me to run 0 grips to slow me down. Josh's head just keeps getting bigger and bigger. There you go. Daryl's new controller won't be there until after Thursday. Steven and Josh are safe this week. The filament guides that John Albright is testing are holding up just fine. Yeah, you could, but I would slip a slot invasion. Yeah, I mean, I'm too spoiled, George, with the slot invasion guides. They're too good. Wow, I got a sidetrack just reading comments. Sorry, guys. That's probably really boring. You guys are already reading them, and I'm rereading them. So, Polycar, we talked about the Polycar track, the changes. I think the changes are the right changes to make. If I peek at it again, as you can tell, I've got a bridge up. I've got controller holders. I've got driver stations done. And I have a little bit of guardrail I need to put up. So I need to go and get some of that. And I'm missing a couple of borders. I need one more R2 border. You can see that big gap right there, and as the bridge starts to rise up at the kink. So I need some border there, and then I need some inner border on some R2 inner border, or no, R3 inner border, because those 2 outside pieces are R4s. So yeah. My 2026 resolution is going with Polycar track, all rally, and the R1s are a must. Yeah, the R1s are a lot of fun, man. I do like them. I used to be allergic to them, and now I understand. Time to go race with the family. Enjoy, Eric. British Racing Green was a color of my MGB. I read somewhere that green has a history to be common on new concept cars related to a weak economy. True or not true? No clue. Got it. Yeah, that's actually interesting. The barns in Eastern Kentucky are black because the guys that worked at Rockwell making rear axles used to bring home 55-gallon drums of the paint and did their barns for free. There you go. Not surprised. With new controller in his hand could be a bad man. I'm starting to wonder who the sandbagger really is. Hey, Greg. Speaking of 124 BRMs, anybody noticed that they are releasing another run of the Mustang and Camaro Trans Am? Yes, Greg. And they've got some interesting liveries. That Jeff Gordon livery on the old Camaro is really interesting. I was like, man, you can't do that. And then I saw the actual picture of it, and I was like, actually, that looks pretty good. Daryl's been running great. The new controller will amp up the excitement. Yeah. Yep. Chris, yep, good luck with that. And then also Chris Frater, hopefully Deb is doing good and healing up, and our thoughts and prayers are with her. Yeah, those look pretty good. Gennard, I'm still looking for a place to run in the DMV area. Yeah, I don't know where there might be tracks. Don't let Daryl fool you. He has plenty of skill. Yep, that's right. Hey, Hillbilly. Welcome. So, I mean, we've kind of skimmed on a couple of things. Yeah, proxy. I'll get with George and Dave and see if there's something coming up that would interfere. Maybe we do a Christmas proxy, like in between Christmas and New Year's. I don't know. Let me talk to those guys about it, and we'll go from there. But don't forget, it's 9/17. It's time to give away some of these setup blocks from 3A3D. I don't know if Dave or George wants to jump on and help give them away. That might be cool, since they donated them to make this happen. Let me and Jim Rose sent me the running order. Total laps, Roseville Raceway, Jim Rose 845, Ted Essie 829, and then Frankie Vallis for the Apex Assassins had 825. The Donos, Richard Freeman 824. Wow, that was a tight race. Oh wow, South Bay Boys, Cedric Armstrong 823 laps. And then Sean Lee had 817. It was on the Roseville Raceway. Wow, Roseville Raceway. They were stacked. And then Paul Hendricks 795. So you add all that up. That's cool. Thanks, Jim. And then gave me a picture of the winning team. That's cool. What else do we have? George just texted me, and he said that he's sick. Well, George, I hope you feel better, man. I don't know. I don't know if Dave jumped in there, if he's still in, or he's probably eating dinner. But let's give some of these away, shall we? All right. We have the navy blue. And in shipping, the navy blue and one of the wheel holders, the tire holders, popped off, and I'm going to mix up some epoxy and fix it. So we got navy blue. We have green And we have purple that we're giving away. So 3 people will receive one of these, and I will get them out in the mail, get them packaged up and sent out in the mail. So this week, so that you'll have them. So let's see. Going back to Group 5, surprise far to race is the Lancia Stratos. It looks like it shouldn't work on, but wow, what a surprise. Yeah, that's actually a great car. All of them that we have. Purple here. There you go. Okay, so let me throw all the names that let me bring up the name picker here, guys. The wheel of names, random name picker. There we go. Let me go to the videos. 4-lane trackside interview, 3 Amigos giveaway. Here we go. So let me go to that video. View on YouTube. Hey guys, it's Marty and welcome to Newline. There we go. And I should be able to just copy. I should have been better prepared for this. Okay, YouTube. Winner picker. Comment picker, here we go. YouTube link. V. Fetch. Let's see. Thing goes. Allow duplicates. Continue. Okay, here we go. And please wait. Let's pick a winner. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Our first winner. Let me see. How can I share this? I should have done it on screen. Hold on. Our first winner. I should be able to bring this up. Hang on. I'm going to do a new. Source. Share screen. Allow. Okay. And as you can see, you should be able to see that. You see who the winner is. So, Chris Frater, you are the winner. There you go. So it looks like Chris gets his wish of the blue. The navy blue is yours. Well done. All right. So that's our first winner. And we're going to pick the next winner. You guys can see this, right? You guys see the name generator, right? Let's pick the next winner. Highway Slot Cars is our second winner. Highway, are you in the chat still? You were in there earlier, I believe. Congratulations. send me an email at the T5guy@gmail.com. So Highway, you are winner number 2. And then let's see, we got one more to give away. Hillbilly Slot Cars is winner number 3. Congrats, guys. That's awesome. Like, I think everybody that won is in the chat or was in the chat at some point tonight. Shout out to Shotgun Dave. Shout out to George at Area 51. Shout out to Harry at Home Racing World for providing such great, great products. I've had a few companies reach out to me that wanted to send me stuff, and I always tell them, I'm like, listen, if the stuff is not good, I'm probably not going to talk about it. If I do a video, that means I liked it, but if I don't like it, I don't want to put negative stuff out there on the internet. And I have to be honest with you, nobody's sent me anything that's been junk at this point. But people who believe in their product, they have no problem sending me something. And I support 3A3D because, one, their heart truly is in the right place. The hobby they're all about the hobby and supporting the hobby, and that's exciting, and I love that. And so I support them for that. But the other thing is they, they're putting out really great products that they come up with their own ideas, and they take something and try to make it better, and then they price it at something that's reasonable. And I know they've got some great things coming down the pike that it's going to be good for people in the hobby. And so this is exciting that we're giving these away. Thanks, guys, for donating these to my channel for me to give away. I'll get them packaged up and sent out to you. So congratulations, Hillbilly. Congratulations, Highway. And congratulations, Chris. You all get a 3A 3D printed. Let me get it right. 3A 3D printed setup block. And then hopefully, these will be available to purchase before too long. And then I've got some also in the box. With these, I will throw in some of the car holders, the showcase your slot cars. So I'll just throw some random colors in for you guys in those boxes as well. So thanks for participating. I really appreciate it. Didn't feel like tonight's episode was as good as it could be. I apologize. I felt like I was kind of all over the place, but exciting changes in the Polycar track. I'll have the timing done probably later tonight, so I can get some laps timed and see how that goes, and really see how cars are performing. Look forward to the rules video that Greg and I did. I had to repair some of the audio on it. For some reason, it picked up an echo, but I think I got that. So I'll put that out hopefully on Thursday for you guys. And then Steve and I are going to hook up this week and talk about the winning cars breakdown, and we'll get that out. And maybe that's Saturdays, if we can get it recorded before Saturday. Maybe that's Saturday's video, so you can see those race winners and see how the scale auto cars, those LMP cars, are a tough build. And all the things we can learn about them from this race, which we learned a lot, I think will help a lot of people get those cars performing well on their track. So, but it's 9:29, guys. Congrats to the winners tonight. I really appreciate it. Those of you tuned in, again, I appreciate you for being here, and for all the comments and the questions and the help that happens in the chat. That's what makes Tuesdays fun and special. The coming weeks, in a couple of weeks, I'm probably not going to go live on Tuesday because I'll be driving back from a trip. The whole family, we're all meeting together. The girls are coming, and we are meeting with some of my wife's relatives down in Florida. And so I don't know what the schedule looks like, and it might be difficult to do a live stream because I might be driving back home at that time. So in 2 weeks, we probably won't have a live stream, but I'll make an announcement next week for sure, because I'll know more details about my trip. So guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. Hope you enjoy me. Pardon me while I let the cat out of the bag. There may be a rumor of a 3A3D website. Yeah, John, I think you might be right, which is good. Hey, Ron, thanks, man. I appreciate it. But congrats to our winners. It's awesome. George, yeah, man. Thanks for supporting my channel by sending me some stuff to give away. George could have easily given these away on his channel, but he chose to send them to me so that I could give them away and talk about them on the live stream, and I appreciate that. I appreciate how he partners with me, and he and Dave. They've become some of my best friends through this hobby. We talk almost daily, and it means a lot. So thanks for your support of me, and I'm glad these are going to good homes. Hopefully, guys, you guys will enjoy them. But thanks for tuning in. Awesome night. I really appreciate the slot card talk, and we'll do it soon. Yep. Hey, great night. Thanks, Peter. Glad you're here, man. Alan, appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see you on Thursday. And as I always say, go have some fun racing.